Rex beat you down the stairs. That's unusual. You'll beat him to the door though, won't you? 62 outside. Somehow we're maintaining 67 inside, even though I don't think we've seen 67 degrees outside in more than a week. T-Rex, Steve, where's Mitt? Ah! Whoa, what was that? Stumbled out the door. Day 8 with wind from the northeast. What is wind? It's air moving from high to low pressure. Check out the radar this morning. Funny, not funny. Rain backing into New York City again. It's not a huge situation with the rain this morning in New York City, but the residents must be shell-shocked after yesterday's 5 to 8 inches of rain. A record daily rainfall for New York City. Tomer Berg put this radar with accumulation rate in the upper right there together. I don't know how he did that, but then again, he's a PhD. He's wicked smart. Thank you, Tomer, for this serious situation in New York City yesterday. A disaster right before our eyes. You know, some people were defending meteorologists saying, oh, the governor said this was a surprise, or the mayor, or whoever down there. Well, it was kind of a surprise. Even though it was seen about maybe 24 to 30 hours ahead of it, it wasn't seen 48 or 72 hours. 48 or 72 hours ago, the Euro had 5+ inches of rain, but it was over eastern Massachusetts, not over New York City. So no guidance did excellent with this. The Euro probably did the best forecasting a possible excessive rainfall event, but it missed the location. Did you get excessive rainfall at your house? I did not. Montauk daisies are blooming this week. Last day of September, fitting. I love these. Oh, they're so pretty. Anyhow, let's check the rain gauge. 0.34, maybe 0.35. That's just unacceptable when the guidance was calling for 5 inches. You want to see something even more unacceptable? Peter Lavasco in Gloucester says it didn't rain at all. The Coco Roz says 0.03. I think I was covering the microphone with one of my fingers. I got to be more careful where these microphones are. Anyhow, a total bust in that department. And who forecast rain to go all the way up to the Canadian border yesterday? No man or machine. It didn't really accumulate up at the Canadian border, but if you look at a place like Sunapee, New Hampshire, around Lake Sunapee, close to 3/4 of an inch, more than twice the rainfall as we had here just south of Boston. No man or machine forecast that either. I mean, I did forecast the rain to go farther north than most of the guidance, but I certainly did not think that we would only get 0.35, 1/3 of an inch here. I thought the NAM yesterday was onto it when it had 2 inches for us. There's some real heavy rain this morning, still going south of Nantucket. It's kind of spinning off to the west-southwest. So that upper flow came in. The rain just sort of stalled and pivoted right over New York City. Then it expanded. It didn't really move. It expanded northward into that colder air. Yesterday afternoon in Portland, it was in the lower 60s, while in central New Hampshire, where it was raining, it was in the lower 50s. So that lean cold rule did apply. I mean, it wasn't exclusively because of lean cold. It had a lot to do with the moisture feed. But the chilly air, I think, did play a pretty big role. Cold air not only wrings out the moisture, but it also acts as a source of a boundary, sort of like a mountain. Cold air is a little bit like a mountain because it's dense, it's heavy, so the warmer, lighter air from the east hits the colder air and it rises over the colder air. It's called overrunning, and that also causes enhancement of precipitation. So not only does cold air wring out the moisture more effectively than warmth, it also acts as a boundary where the air rises over it. Hope that made sense. So this rain may linger on Cape Cod. Today was the second rescheduling for the poker run on Nantucket Sound from Hyannis to Martha's Vineyard for the boaters. And the second postponement may do it. So it was 3 weeks in a row it was supposed to run, and it's not running today because of the wind from the northeast. We're going to shake this wind. Tomorrow it looks like we're going to go light and variable. So this rain is only going to slowly decay. We have much drier air trying to come in at most levels of the atmosphere from the northeast, but it's going to be a slog. So on Cape Cod, it may stay wet for the Eldridge Farm party. But they only picked up less than 1/4 of an inch of rain on Cape Cod, too. So closest to the storm at the south coast, at least in southeastern Massachusetts, got the least amount of rain. The Eldridge Farm party, they like the kids like playing in the mud anyway, and the adults will have a tent and a band. And there's Tommy and Christina getting married today in West Bridgewater. I think that you may get some sunshine and maybe even a rainbow at your wedding today. So that's okay. Tomorrow looks like a beautiful day. High pressure expanding, the same high that's been giving us trouble, sending these, generating these storms off to the south. The high still there. It's going to reinforce itself tomorrow, and the low is going to only slowly spin out. It's doing a loop-de-doo. That low is still looping out there. It's actually getting stronger. This is now still the DNA of Ophelia. So you can credit Ophelia partially for that extreme rain around New York City. I'll show you that rainfall amount right there. And then go back to the surface. Let's go to the surface maps now for the week coming in. This low spins out, it loops out. Tomorrow turns beautiful, high pressure. A huge expansive high pressure system again should bring us beautiful weather. There's a very subtle now backdoor cold front on Tuesday night. So the warmest weather may be Tuesday. And then all of a sudden we have a new strong high pressure system east of New England again. And the wind is going to come in from the east in Boston on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. At the same time, a front approaches from the Midwest. So next Saturday, of course, next chance of showers and downpours Friday into Saturday. That's a cold front. And then an even colder front. Look at that. Rain changing to snow in southeastern Canada a week from Monday, Tuesday. That's about the 9th and 10th of October. 10-day forecast. What good are they? Well, 10 days ago, the Euro had this excessive rainfall event. The Euro got it right from the farthest out and had it most of the time, but no guidance, no model did a great job. No meteorologist did a great job with this. We can all do some backseat driving. I like Ryan Maui on Twitter. I actually subscribe to him. He said, yeah, it hasn't rained this hard in New York City in our life, but the same thing happened in 1882. And back then they credited or discredited the barometer. They said anyone that watches your barometer wouldn't have expected a huge rainstorm like this with such high pressure. Well, high pressure often does play a role in these extreme events. High pressure and low pressure. So it was just the perfect storm of alignment of cold air and the feed off the ocean north of Bermuda. And speaking of Bermuda, let's go to the tropics. The fun and games continue with Philippe, which was expected 2 days ago to decay and fall apart in the Northeast Caribbean, is now expected to regenerate into a hurricane to the southeast of Bermuda in about 5 or 6 days. So here, let's watch Rina and Philippe. Rina, a couple days ago, was expected to be the stronger one. Now just kind of falls completely apart. And there goes Philippe, turning into a hurricane going north of this sector. Oh, we better change sectors, Tim, back to this northwest Atlantic sector. There goes our low out to sea. Goodbye, Ophelia. Hello, Philippe. Following Lee and Franklin. And almost Idalia, except for Idalia came across Florida. But all of them ended up going well east of New England. So Jacob would say, here goes the 238th hurricane in a row to not hit New England. We're fine with that. We don't need hurricanes or named storms to cause problems, as we've seen in the rainfall department this season. 0.34. Can't believe it. If this was snow out at Wachusett, the forecast would have been, oh, maybe a few inches or a dusting, and we would have gotten 2 feet. Yeah, that's how much rain fell in central Massachusetts. 5 times as much rain as I got. And we would have gotten less than an inch. just rain here near the coast. So consider this the pre-season for getting accustomed to trying to blow snow forecasts. If you can't get the rain forecast, you certainly can't get the snow forecast. Mother Nature is in charge. Fun day yesterday, watching the weather and wondering when it's going to start raining. Not much rain, but my big sister Ginny visited and gave me a birthday present, which I love. Thank you, Ginny, for the new weather instrument. Right up there. Everybody in my family knows I'm kind of crazy about crows. Or maybe just kind of crazy. And it's pointing toward the north this morning. T-Rex is being very patient, looking to the north. And Steve is looking to the north. So like the gulls and the crow, my pets are all pointed toward the north. The boats are pointed toward the north. That dog is pointed toward the north. There's another one pointed toward the north. Oh, no, he's turned around. That is some slippery rock action right there. Trust me. Thank goodness he's got 4-paw drive. That is slimy, sticky, slippery stuff he's sticking to. There they go. So fun. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. What's its name?
King.
King. King Crow. Pointing into the wind. That's beautiful. It's a great birthday present. Thank you, Ginny.
You're welcome.
See, the crow is going to point kind of at the flag because the flag is with the wind, where the wind is coming from, and the crow points into the wind.
Okay.
So they're facing each other today.
Oh, good.
And that's on a stormy day. When it's a nice day with the wind from the west, they'll be facing apart from one another.
Okay.
Just so happens our house points pretty close to due north. Just past 5 o'clock. Disaster today in New York City with 6 to 8 inches of rain. Boston area, it's been raining intermittently. The wind has just picked up. It's more from the north than the northeast right now. Jenny gave me this new wind direction system, which I love. And when we put it up around 1 o'clock, it was pointing toward more the east. Now it's pointed more toward the north. So if this were winter, we may have just had a change from rain to a wintry mix. Very low tide. It was a full moon today. That's called Bass Rock right there. It just came out of the water. And so tonight there could be a very high tide. Some minor coastal flooding is possible. Still really don't know what's going to happen in the rainfall department. The rain now has reached the Canadian border. I think that's about 300 miles north of where most of the forecasts had it. So it will be interesting as I go out the door in 14 hours. Of course, this video will be from about 16 hours ago. Should I go check the rain gauge? Wow, that's a very low tide at Fort Point in Weymouth with the ferries going by. The flag is more straight out now than it's been all day. Let's go check a couple of weather instruments here. By the way, this dill all just grew back. And what do we have down here? I don't know, about 56 degrees. So this is the coldest rain we've had in quite some time. And not that much rain, really. Still less than 1/4 inch. 0.23 and counting. So we're only about 4 inches shy of where the Euro thought we would be a few days ago. But for a global model, from 10 days out to call for 5 inches of rain or more, and to only miss by 200 miles, I consider that a pretty good forecast.